Alright, so this is the result of the CNC work I've done today. So the larger circle that you see there, that is the base of the dust commander, and the little pieces on the outside, they will sit just on top, if you will. So each of these will sit just inside, and there will be a 12mm dowel that I'll put through them just to locate them properly. And they will simply hold the dust commander from falling off. It's not to hold it in place that it can't move, but it's really just so that if I need to roll the dust commander around, that I'm able to move it without it sliding off this base. And of course at the bottom of the base is where I'm going to have some wheels, and they should be able to turn 360, so I can move it in all directions. And of course these little holes over here, all what they are is just a 1/4 inch hole, and that is just so that I can locate the wheels at the bottom at 90 degrees apart. It's easier to already have a hole drilled through or made through to the bottom end, rather than trying to figure out exactly where the 90-degree points are by measuring, because there's normally going to be some sort of error involved in that. So just getting back to my dust commander and my extraction system, this is not the most efficient, but it's the length of pipe that I've used since the beginning of time, and the reason why I haven't cut it is simply because I wasn't certain what my end installation was going to be. Now I have a better idea, and what I will likely do is have the dust commander, so have the feed in of all the debris come from the corner, and a pipe going up and all the way back through, and I'll drop verticals down wherever I'm going to add equipment. And then of course the feed to the fan, with the fan motor itself is going to be somewhat shorter. I'll probably also have some sort of a vertical and bring it across up that way and down and in, so then eventually I can cut this into the lengths that I need. So most of the bits and pieces that I'll have will be PVC, so it'll be solid, it'll be smooth, it won't have all these ribs, because this is quite inefficient as it is at the moment. But having said that, being inefficient, it's worked pretty well so far. And the test for me today is just to see how the dust commander has how well it's actually worked. So if we have a look at the bag, there is hardly any debris that is inside, and I think some of that might have been from my previous clean out. So what I'll do now is I will open the dust commander and we'll take a look inside. So if I can just get this thing down in a decent place, and then we'll have a look inside to see all the dust that it's collected, all the chippings, etc. Now this clip here is actually not very tight. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't need to be very tight. And the other thing that in this dust commander, doesn't have a seal along the border as my other smaller dust commander unit does. So maybe that is by design, or the seal wasn't included for some reason. But having said that, there is a nice seal, orange seal, that you can see between the actual Cyclone itself and the drum that collects all the debris. So if I open up here, and we have a look inside, there we can see all of the dust that's collected from this last job that I've done. So I don't know if you can see that, I don't know how well you can see there, but there's not a lot of dust. But that is the MDF when I smoothed off or resurfaced the MDF, and of course the bit of work that I've done now to make this little base early on, as you've seen in the video. So overall I'm very, very impressed with this dust commander. It seems to be doing a good job, and I will just query them about the seal, the rubber seal, if it needs it. because this actually fits on very, very loosely. I don't know if that is by design or if that is an error, but I suppose it's just there to prevent this from coming off. But once you have a vacuum, this is going to suck down, it is going to seal, etc. Now you'll see that I've got some painter's tape or masking tape over here. This was just to get some sort of a seal, because there was air seeping in or leaking in through that, rather than coming in through the pipe and from the actual dust tube itself. And overall, I'm pretty impressed. It's done a very, very good job. The only downside, but that is on this machine and I suppose every other machine as well, is that when you cut near the edges, because the dust tube comes out, it sucks up air from the outside. So I probably need to put something, mount some other bit of platform here, so that the brushes at least will prevent a lot of air coming from the outside, so that you'll get more of a suction, or a better suction on the work that you're doing closer to the perimeter of the machine bed. But I suppose also if you can work further in, it might be better to do that, get your work further into the middle of the machine, but it depends on what you are doing. So what I've done here, this is one of the bigger pieces that I've done so far on this machine. It required a little more space, so I had to fit it as equally as possible, X and Y axis, and just on the other end there, because my MDF ends over here, so there is nothing at the bottom there. I put a bit of a support on the far end, just so that the plywood has some support there, because where this was cut out, that is cut out right through, and you can see possibly you might be able to see the aluminium bed at the bottom of that.